Now, I haven't made a hater video around here in quite some time, and I think today is the best day to change that because there has been some Ronnie Radke meat rider action out there on the internet, and today I gotta cover it and make fun of it a little bit, okay? But before I do, hey, hi, hello, my name is Dan Frampton. This here is Mick Foley the cat. That back there is Munchie the straight edge nutcracker, and today we're gonna make a little bit of a video on the YouTube channel. And by we, I mean just me. They have literally nothing to do with it. Mick just ran out the door over there. Before we get on to today's activities, I want to direct your attention towards my new comic book. Okay, it's called Pit Pros. I'll leave a link down there in the description. It's about this guy over here and all these pages over here, a little bit of a story going on over there. It's chapter 0, bit of an epilogue. I'm going to be putting out chapter 1 very soon, so you're going to want to read this book right now, okay? Let's move on to the hater activities of the day. So this is what I have in store for you today. It's a post coming to us from the Rock Feed Instagram page, featuring a tweet from the guy named Frankie Palmieri. Now, if that name doesn't ring familiar to you, he's the lead singer of the band EMMURE. Very EMMURE, alright? He has a bit of a reputation for being one of the cringiest edgelords ever to grace rock and roll music. This guy likes calling guys the F-slur if they wear eyeliner. This guy likes glorifying the Columbine situation via t-shirts. He's also had some pretty racist t-shirts back in the day as well, not gonna lie. Frankie just has a reputation of being the edgiest, cringiest motherfucker on the internet. In 2014, founding EMMURE guitarist calls Frankie Palmieri a disgusting human being. With track titles like this, you can definitely see why. At the time, he put out a statement that says this: "I feel a little need to speak out. Let's get this straight. EMMURE is my blood, sweat, and tears. My band, born from my thoughts and my hard work." I don't know if I'd be saying that with my full chest. Anyway, he just keeps on going on, blah, 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 blah. It's my band, I had to leave the band, blah, 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 blah. This guy really sucks, okay? This guy's really bad and a really awful person. You shouldn't like him, he's a disgusting human being. And then a couple years after that, it took 2 years, but in 2016, EMMURE's Frankie Palmieri apologizes for being a moronic douche, says he's grown as a person. Oh, is that right? Remember that As I Lay Dying situation that happened last year in 2024? Well, EMMURE went through that kind of thing way back in the day as well, when all of his band members left the band because he was such a toxic piece of shit to be around. In 2015, all the members of EMMURE left, except for Frankie Palmieri. He had a clothing line glorifying the Columbine guys, had a penchant for dropping F-bombs. F-bombs in this situation isn't the word fuck, okay? It's the F-slur that they're talking about. And then Frankie put out a statement: "Over the years, specifically the last decade, I have done a pretty good job at painting myself as an egotistical, psychotic, moronic douche. I did and said a lot of stupid shit. A good portion of it which I look back on with embarrassment and regret. I have grown so much as a person, and I like to think there is a chance for people to understand that everyone grows differently and at their own pace." Okay, like in your 40s? These are normally life lessons you learn at the age of 12 or 13. That really should be solidified by the time you're 18 and out there as a legal adult. What are you talking about? Anyway, you're apologizing. Benefit of the doubt being given. But this is like almost a decade ago. 2016 was 9 years ago, folks. He also wants to let us know that he emotionally and spiritually rejects almost every lyric that he's ever written. Yeah, he's been through a lot of drama. All the band members left him. There was a time that he got beaten up by the guy from Acacia Strain. And when your life is nothing but heat and getting beaten up and having everybody leave you, eventually you're going to be putting out tweets like this. Trust me when I say I emotionally and spiritually reject almost every lyric I've ever written. It all stems from material pain, a fragile ego, and ability to cope. It's unfathomable that anyone has ever identified with any of what I've said in my music. A lot of people are/were hurting. Hanging out with someone who only listens to metalcore made me realize why regular people with healthy neuroplasticity don't fuck with that genre of music and gravitates towards pop, rap. Talk about a fucking unnecessary onslaught of bullshit emotions. An unnecessary onslaught. Dude, you're the guy who put out all those shirts. You're the guy that said all those things in your music, okay? Benefit of the doubt. You're apologizing for it. And I'd like to say I believe you, okay? But I think once an edgelord, always an edgelord. Because now we're going to be talking about the post that brings us here today over here on Rock Feed's Instagram page, where everybody is slobbing the knob of Ronnie Radke. I have no idea why people slob this guy's knob so hard, okay? He's obviously not that great of a person. He's obviously cringy. He's obviously just out there for attention and doing it in like the stupidest, most moronic ways possible. But these people still give him the most attention ever, prop him up, even though he's out there on Twitter just using all sorts of slurs and derogatory insults towards people that are like way less famous, that are just like fans, that are just regular people. He's reposting them and thinking that he's owning them. It's really the most ridiculous, most pathetic man-child behavior in the world over there on Twitter. And if he's not doing that on Twitter, he's firing up a gambling live stream where he's gambling live to his children audience, okay? All the while, he's berating his fans for not understanding how the music business works. And then if he's not behaving like a total moron on the internet, he's putting out some of the worst music that you can even imagine. Crying about being canceled on Twitter, crying about being misunderstood. Meanwhile, everybody out there seems to be hanging from his taint because of the clout that he currently has. So EMMURE's frontman, Frankie Palmieri, remember, the only original member left in the band, it seems to me like he is just desperate for clout and desperate for attention again, because it's been like, I don't know, 10 years since anybody's been talking about them. So whose knob can he slob on right now in order to get the most attention possible, okay? It's gonna be Ronnie Radke, obviously. But here's a couple things I don't understand, okay? He tags Ronnie Radke in his post, seeming like he's trying to get attention for all of this, but his social profiles are completely private. Like, what kind of traction are you gonna get with a private profile, Frankie? You're brain dead. So anyway, we're basically 10 minutes into this video. Let's finally read this tweet. Frankie Palmieri tweets out, "I don't know Ronnie Radke. No opinion on him. But the vitriol people seem to have against him, I don't buy it. He's talented and wealthy," which the last time I checked are the two things people celebrate the most in our society. So either he's actually disliked or you're all fans. Oh, you got us, Frankie. What an own. You so cooked with this tweet. Oh my god, what could I ever say in retaliation to this? How will I ever debunk such a well-articulated, ingenious statement? Well, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my darndest. Where do I even start? The vitriol people seem to have against him, you don't buy it. Well, he targets people, he attacks people, he talks down to people, he uses slurs towards people. Big surprise, Frankie. People don't like that. And when you do it to marginalized groups, even more people don't like it. If you see somebody vulnerable and then go over and smack them in the face, it's not really like a respectable action. And Ronnie Radke seems to make a living of that on Twitter. I don't buy it. He's talented and wealthy, okay? Alright, which the last time I checked are the two things people celebrate the most in our society. While it is true, people celebrate celebrities and people glorify the hustle and all of that, but this is the most brain dead take I have ever heard in my entire life. He's talented and wealthy, which the last time I checked, people celebrate most in our society. Do you know how many bad people are talented and wealthy? Almost all of Hollywood, almost all of the music industry. Have you seen Minecraft YouTubers? My god, man. Being talented and wealthy have nothing to do with the vitriol people throw at him. And people only throw the vitriol because he reacts to it. And the one rule about dealing with trolls online is you're not supposed to react to them because it feeds them and then they're just gonna keep going, right? But on Twitter, Ronnie Radke feeds the trolls, then the trolls feed him, and it's like this vicious cycle of toxicity. But to his credit, Ronnie Radke has a shadow banned account and is able to ride all of that toxicity to actual modern day mainstream relevance. But the numbers on his account would be much higher if he wasn't shadow banned and if he didn't like talk down to marginal marginalized people all the time. So he's either actually disliked or you're all fans. That is such a stupid take. It is clear you don't know Ronnie Radke. It is clear that you should kind of do a little bit of research before saying this entire statement with your full chest. That is so funny. People do have valid criticisms towards Ronnie Radke. Imagine that. And Ronnie Radke has a history of fanning those flames to create even more dislike, to create even more hate, negativity, and toxicity. He's basically manufacturing it. Ronnie Radke is the hate machine that he claims to be raging against. And then the knob slob fest continues in the comment section. Just so much slurping going on over here. I'm expecting to see the Hawk Tua girl in any one of these comments. Guys, Ronnie doesn't care about you. He's not going to be your friend, okay? Ronnie only exists to manufacture the hate. He doesn't care about any of this over here. Any of the knobs that are being slobbered over here. He doesn't care about any of this kind of stuff. Anybody with any amount of clout can smell the chasers and the coat riders from a mile away. And Frankie Palmieri is leading in the pack right now. So basically this Frankie Palmieri tweet that I've been talking about is just him being like, hey Ronnie Radke, I exist over here. Remember back in the day, like 10, 15 years ago when we were both out there on the scene? I realize that you're a whole lot more famous now and I'm basically irrelevant. How about you throw me a bone, please? Can I please open for you in Poughkeepsie? So rock feed, Frankie Palmieri, I hope the nuts are delicious, because you've been swinging from them unashamedly. And that's where my hater situation is gonna end right now. And to be fair, I don't think that I'm being that much of a hater. I think that there's some very valid criticisms found within this video. I'm just packaging it with a little bit of extra spice, you know what I'm saying? But before you leave, let me just remind you of my new comic book, Pit Pros Chapter 0, linked down below. Go give it a read today. I will love you forever. Okay, thank you so much for watching. It's been a blast. Goodbye, see you later, and have a good one.